I thought we would start with a little activity to warm up. What I'd like you to do with a partner is to decide which word does not go with the other words. I will accept any answer if you can define your criteria. Okay? Conference, bag, badge, plenary, workshop. Can someone call out a word that they eliminated? Bag. Bag. Why bag? You don't need the bag at the conference. Workshop. It's a compound noun. Okay, another one? Conference. Why?
3 syllables.
3 syllables. This was a very simple vocabulary activity which I believe is engaging in what people call higher order critical thinking skills. Critical thinking skills are often described in taxonomies, lists, or diagrams. The most famous one is the pyramid here, which sort of represents the one that most people hear about first. And that's a taxonomy. You know the name of the person I'm thinking of? Bloom's taxonomy of critical thinking skills. They can get incredibly complex with all kinds of activities and stuff, like the one on the right. But most of the people talking about critical thinking skills will agree on 2 things. That there are what are called higher order critical thinking skills and lower order critical thinking skills. Critical literacy is about acknowledging the educator's responsibility politically in society. So, 2 concepts, critical thinking and critical literacy. For the rest of this talk, I'm going to be looking at practical activities that I think touch on both of those. What I came to the conclusion is often how we treat a topic that we deal with in class on whether or not we can do it critically or just get the students to accept it uncritically. And to do that, we're going to do a first activity. You're going to read a short extract. I'll give you the background. It's a story of 2 wartime friends. And by wartime, I'm talking about British wartime, so Second World War. The Bangladeshi is Samad Iqbal and the Englishman Archie Jones, and their families in London. One day, Samad decides that his son must go back to Bangladesh for his education. Alsana, Samad's wife and the boy's mother, doesn't agree. Samad takes his son to the airport and sends him back to Bangladesh, but he doesn't tell his wife until after his son has gone. She decides to punish him. Now let's imagine that you're a group of intermediate to higher intermediate students. We're going to do the infamous, let's say, true-false questions, okay? Alsana's punishment has no effect on her husband. True-false doesn't say. Alsana didn't want her son to go to Bangladesh. The son didn't want to go to Bangladesh. What kind of, are we doing higher order here or lower order? Lower order. We're understanding the text. Let's think of another activity here. I would like you now to think of, with a partner, another exchange in the Iqbal house.
Is dinner ready?
Is dinner ready? Answer? Who knows? Another one? Did you buy those shoes today? Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Let me ask you to do another one now. To imagine Samad or Alsana and think of 2 adjectives to describe them. Personality adjectives, please. Not tall or short or dark hair. Intransigent, obedient, headstrong, stupid, macho, aggressive, adventurous. Now, with students, I would obviously start saying, why do you say that? Again, accepting the different answers. But what's beginning to happen now is they're thinking a little, there is no right answer. They're bringing their own judgment, their own values to what they say here. The third thing that I would give the students to do, or another option, would be 2 questions. Was Samad wrong to send his son to Bangladesh? Was Alsana right to punish her husband? I ask the students to choose one of those questions. I write them on the board. And I say, I don't want you to just answer the question. I want you to give me a reason for and against each of those questions. Was Alsana right to punish her husband? Yes, she was right because. And no, she was wrong because. Let's look at facts versus opinions. I have two activities on facts versus opinions, one which is very easy and one which is a bit more sophisticated. The first one is easy, and it's about Alaska. Pretty easy what you have to do. I ask the students after we do the comprehension, which of these are not facts, they're representing more opinions. You can pretty much pick those out quite easily. We go through the comprehension. At the end, and you can do this, I'll tell you how, but at the end, I say to the students, these facts come from three places. The first is the Wikipedia entry on lottery. The second is a website in the business press about the benefits of lotteries to governments in terms of tax revenue projects. And the third is an article by an anti-gambling website called Gamblers Anonymous that's called The Facts About Lotteries. I said, now you have to decide which website used which fact where. This is my favorite activity, and we're going to look at language, look critically at language, critically analyzing how language is used. I'm going to read you a quote, first part of the quote from a famous British politician. You tell me what you think the next words were. Ask me my three main priorities for government, and I tell you... Right, who said that? Tony Blair, okay? On your handout, you have a basic matching exercise of halves of politicians' speeches you have to match with the other half. So that was a language exercise that was just getting you to match the syntax and find, you know, the linkers, find what's the grammar going on, the reference going back, and so on. Where we can make it critical is by peeling back some of that language. And I read an amazing book called Lend Me Your Ears by Professor Max Atkinson. And Max Atkinson is a speechwriter. He wrote speeches for Reagan, he wrote speeches for Patty Ashdown, he wrote speeches for several different politicians. And he said he coined a term called clap traps. Clap traps are a part in a speech which is designed to elicit the audience's applause. And they are, wait for it, and he said they're very simple, and they're as old as time. They've been used throughout the ages. In fact, they're rhetoric, and rhetoric used to be what was taught in ancient Greece and other ancient societies, ways of speaking, of convincing people of something. And he said the three, do you want to know what these claptraps are? Yeah. Yes you do, because you want to be killer teachers and presenters. So, here they are. The first claptrap rhetorical device is the contrast. This would mean structuring something by saying, not this, that. More this than that. Not this and this and this, but that. Yeah? So, a contrast. The second one is a puzzle or a question and an answer. You want to know why critical thinking is on everyone's agenda? I'll tell you why, and then I answer. You never really ask me why. I've told you that you've asked me why. But you're very satisfied when you get the answer, and then you clap. Yeah? You want to know why teachers aren't making enough money? I'll tell you why teachers aren't making enough money. And the most powerful is the group of three. The group of three, this could be three words, it could be three clauses, it could be three sentences. Now, a very effective speaker will start combining these in many different ways. Let's go through some of these and it's what makes it sound nice. When you were reading those sentences, they sound nice. Hate the sin, love the sinner. It sounds good. I was born in the slum, but the slum was not born in me. Just wanted to say that all of these examples come from a book that I've written called Global. It's a course book for adults where we were expressively trying to explore areas of critical thinking and a little bit of critical literacy.